Today, what we're going to focus on is all the things that NX can do for you as a company. Obviously, we've said this before, but everything from design, engineering, simulation, manufacturing, there's a solution for everything inside of NX. And today we're going to be talking about product and manufacturing information, and not, everybody assumes that these are just three-dimensional dimensions that go into a model instead of onto a flat piece of paper. But there's so much more than that we can offer. Obviously, dimensions and tolerances are critical, but we can annotate materials, specify surfaces, help with assembly or packaging details, even final inspection. So all sorts of information can be added to that model and then filtered out so the right user gets that at the right time in your product lifecycle. So that being said about the NX portfolio, how is it specific that PMI can be brought to bear on certain applications? And there's a wealth of opportunity for that, not just with the associativity inside of NX, that's unparalleled in the industry, but to specifically bring PMI to use and to get some return on investment in that across your organization. Here we have a little slide that just talks about the model-based or the master model concept, where everything's driven from that 3D model. We can automatically create dimensions on 2D drawings. We can do analysis of parts and create tooling from that, automate manufacturing, create CMM programs that are directly driven from the PMI, and the GD&T that's associated with the model itself, just generate those programs automatically. And then we'll see how we can also share this information with not only internal customers, but also your suppliers and your own customers. So again, the technical data package, this is a way to quickly bring together all the information that you've stored either in a part, or even better in a large assembly where you might want to communicate with your different assembly customers or different manufacturing customers. So we're going to maximize that investment. There's a couple options we'll talk about. I'll show the JT plus PDF. JT, if you don't know, it's a common language format similar to a step format, based on the same kernel that NX uses. So it's highly compatible there. And we can store all the JT and the assembly, we can store all the PMI and the assembly information right there inside of that JT file. So that's a real exciting format. And we can also do just a plain 3D PDF format, which doesn't require any software. You could send that off to any vendor, they wouldn't, or customer, they wouldn't have to be set up for that. And show you guys the technical data package and how we can export this. We have here a brake lever assembly here in the balloon view with the different parts called out for the bill of materials. These were actually brought in from a two-dimensional drawing. I'll show how we can do that a little bit later. But this assembly being shown, I mean, hopefully we're familiar with seeing things here in NX. I want to go ahead and export this, and I'll show you in the other environment how we can leverage all this data outside of NX. So we're talking with, perhaps a purchaser, like we said, an outside vendor, somebody that doesn't have the benefits of having NX installed on their workstation.
Hey, Saul, real quick.
Yeah.
Just so that everyone understands what version of NX we're using, you are running NX 1899, correct?
Yep. So I try to work in what is the latest version. They work with the continuous release cycle now. They're always rolling out new features and improvements. So I like to stay, for my purposes, as current as possible. And as I bundle this up, when I said the right information for the right person, we can just select the different views here, or we can also have filters, so that we're packaging up the right information. Everything doesn't have to go into one output file. We can make groups of views. For now, we're just looking at dimensioning here, but to what I spoke of earlier, we can certainly package and refine who gets what. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this out all here in real time, super fast, super light files. And to have a look at that, I'm going to bring that into JT2Go, which is a Siemens free viewer. It's a lot like, you know, the Adobe Acrobat viewer is free from Adobe. This is a free viewer that anybody could install on their machine. And here we can look around. We can see the bill of materials. We can see that balloon view. We can look at different section views. Have this pull up.
No worries, but again, what we're looking at here is a brake lever, correct?
Yeah, so this is a cable brake lever.
Okay.
Here we've got a section view. All these different views are accessible. What I went ahead and did was expand, you know, rather than just these 6 views that you see. What I've done is populate all of these drawing views. That's why that took just a second to load. And what the JT2Go did was it went into the assembly of the JT file and pulled all the individual parts and any associated PMI with that. So it's almost like we can go into each one of these individual drawing views and treat it like a part of that file. And all that comes through as information that was tied to the 3D model. We can see not just the dimensions in 2D, but we can see actually, you know, if, as oftentimes is the case, there might be confusion about where dimensions actually pointed to. And here inside the JT viewer, we can highlight the different surfaces, zoom in, see exactly where those leaders go to, eliminate some confusion that might arise using just 2D drawings. So some real benefits there. Also, like I mentioned, we could also see material callouts and things of that nature.